WLFE Digital Network is now on digital television. If you're into ghosts, Bigfoot, UFOs, and the creepy, then WLFE has a TV channel for you, Paranormal View. Watch all of your favorite WLFE video talk shows on one channel. Shows like Paratalk Radio, Step Into the Paranormal, Skeptical Help Bar, The Creepy Parlor, and more. Looking for something else? Do you support the LGBTQ plus community? WLFE has brought all of their LGBTQ shows like Inside the Drag Closet, Everything Yet Nothing, Across the Pond, and Rainbow Soul all into one place. A new TV channel called LGBTQ Friends. The third channel is a Variety Unlimited. Here you'll find a wide variety of talk shows you know and love, like Just Cindy, Card Pulls and Coffee, Real Talk with Nom, The Bipolar DM, Meet the Author, and Movie Review 5. The best part of watching these shows is that they're all available to watch at one location, one website, WLFE-DB.com.
You are listening to WLFE-DBradio.com, where our shows are your shows.
Listen to the WLFE-DB podcast, available on Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Check out shows like Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and Step Into the Paranormal. Now, on to your favorite podcast app.
This is Dominic Santasero with Real Talk with Dom. You are listening to WLFE-DBradio.com, where our shows are your shows.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area, 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Oh yeah, life just got sweeter now that WLFE-DB has merchandise. Show your support by purchasing your t-shirts for WLFE, Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and more. But it doesn't stop there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tanks, buttons, cloth bags, and more. Go to WLFE-DB.com. On the top bar, click on the merchandise tab and bam, there you go. You got merch. Support the shows. WLFE-DB.com. You're listening to WLFE-DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
Well, hello, everybody. Good evening to you. It is 8:04 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard, and my name is Ted. I'm going to be your main host here for WLFE for a new show. Actually, we've all been together here previously, but we actually have our official name now, which is really cool. And if you take a quick peek, it is called the Sofa Guys Movie Review. It's different, it's weird, and it's kind of like me and Frank and I guess Gerard and Emanual and Sean. We're all a little weird in a little way. So without further ado, we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat, and I'm going to bring the fellas up right now. So welcome, Mr. Frank. There he is.
There we go.
There you go.
I hate that setting. Every time I go to my StreamYard, it goes right to it. Hey!
I know, me too. There's Emanual and Gerard. So Sean is not going to make it with us tonight. There's normally 5 of us, but the 4 of us, I think we can handle it.
I am sharing this out to some. I shared it out to a craft beer community.
Craft beer. Okay, that would be a great little sponsor.
I'm drinking sparkling
beer?
water right now.
That would be.
I'll be having beers later.
Well, you know what? I stopped drinking soda, but I grabbed this on the way because I knew I needed something to drink. So, guys, I don't know if you've been keeping up with our first movie review with Kong or Godzilla vs. Kong, but they are now 326 million across the board at 96 million as pure profit right now as it stands.
That's awesome.
Woo!
So yeah,
Well,
so
hopefully-
96
cool.
million. That's very cool.
I
And
heard
they're
there were a
already-
lot of markets they hadn't opened in yet too that were still like being held up.
Japan and China, I thought, was what I was reading.
Japan was one of the big ones. I mean, like, not having a Godzilla movie drop in Japan is pretty. It's like, come on. Toho's
like-
probably sitting there like, everybody's blaming us. Everybody's blaming us.
Yeah. Well,
Toho's-
and it's really
Yeah.
COVID. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Toho's also
so-
running their what's it right now, the Singular Point Godzilla series, which is will be on Netflix next month.
Yeah.
Is what they said when it's finally done, or the first season's done. So,
What do you guys think? What do you
It's not-
think? Is
it's
it
not-
going to be good?
is what?
Is it going to be good? I mean,
So far, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's on. What is it on Shonen Jump or whatever that's
I'm
called?
on episode
Not Shonen-
6.
Yeah, it's. Yeah,
You-
I've seen a
you
couple
dirty,
things of it. It's
dirty
not bad.
pirates. I won't watch it until it comes out.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
haven't-
super stoked.
I've seen some stuff about it, but I have not. I'm going to wait till it comes to Netflix and then I'll watch it. You know.
Something that anybody who's either listened to us in the past or will hear throughout this podcast a lot, I'm real easy to please. I'm so easy to please that it's like, oh, you said Godzilla?
Typical man.
A+. It's true. It's like, if Godzilla looks at me hard enough, nerdgasm, right?
Yeah, well,
I don't-
you know, I think some of us are that way on a lot of things, but
Well, yeah.
I was teasing Frank with this. So before we get into our movie review, I wanted to sort of show Frank what I got my hands
67
on.
years. Is that
Ooh. Nice.
was that Gabra on there? Is that what it says?
Bring it a little farther down so we can see the picture. There, Ted.
I'm sorry.
There you go. Oh, look at that.
It's different Godzillas all through the years.
Beautiful.
I just said Gabra.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what
Very
are you
cool.
thinking?
He's in
But
the new
yeah,
series.
it's got the signatures and stuff of all those guys on the bottom here. So
Awesome.
you know, so yeah, it's it wasn't too expensive, but you know what? I figured I'm a Godzilla fanatic, so why not? You know, I mean, gotta have one.
Liz Crack.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
just pulled something
So,
down.
so Liz is taking place as Sean this evening.
Sporting
Hi, Liz.
my
Oh,
favorite colors here
Change the name.
Yeah, I see
for
that.
my favorite person
There you go.
within that world.
Why are you so dark there, Frank?
Because I just turned the light off. Do I need to turn it back on?
Frank usually podcasts with a blanket over him.
Yeah.
Like he's like in a blanket fort as a.
That's how I always do it. There we go. I was changing the name. Frank
Oh.
and Liz.
He just likes
shoot,
coming
I
out of the
forgot to
darkness.
remind you.
He's-
Oh.
You
it's
had that other
spooky.
thing on there.
We get it.
I changed it earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm
Never
so
mind.
glad. I'm so
With the black
glad.
T-shirt too, it's like Mystery Science Theater with the talking head.
It's
Wait.
just like
Oh,
he
yeah.
has a floating head, right?
Let's just.
Yeah.
Well, I got the black T-shirt. And then
We
we'll
just
Do I
need
need
a
to
green-
go turn the light on
we'll
in
do this
here?
real fast.
No, it's
that's
great.
even brighter. There we go.
No,
wait,
that's cool. That was
there
cool.
we go.
Look, no.
No, we're fine with the floating head.
Where's
Yeah.
this? Oh, I'm in my other. I was about to go. To
Why
my
are
other,
you going back and forth?
I was about to go to my other stream yard.
He's just making it. He's just making everybody sick.
Now you remind me of Modok. Just big head.
Right?
All right, so I want to say hi to Phyllis Beach, who is watching. Kelvin, Golden,
Calvin.
and who we got over here.
Calvin.
There's a few other ones that I can't see. So, but you know how it goes as we go along. No big deal. So, guys, our assignment was to watch Mortal Kombat.
Mortal
What movie was
Kombat.
that again?
Yeah. What movie was that? Frank was schooling me last night.
I'm sorry, Frank
and
and
Liz
who?
both. And because I'm going to start this off
Okay.
myself, and I'm going to say I am coming from the point of view of just being a movie fan and liking action and stuff. Because you guys are going to shame me, but I wasn't a huge Mortal Kombat guy. So
For
I
shame.
watched it as just like somebody going out and watching a movie as a fan. But I did, however, rewatch the very first Mortal Kombat movie from years ago, and then which
Nice.
didn't help. It didn't help. I mean, there was so many differences in the two movies that I kind of got lost. So Frank and Liz tried to school me last night. So
Interesting.
yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So and then we'll talk about some of the other new movies coming
Sounds
out
like it.
that we're going to see. So, all right. So, where do you guys want to start? Do we want to start with Gerard down here below me in the corner?
Yeah. Sorry,
All right.
I was still sharing out the
Sure.
notes real fast.
All right. So,
Yeah, why not?
Gerard, first question is how many times did you watch it?
You've seen it, what, 3 times?
I watched it 4 times within the very first day.
Wow. Trooper. You're a trooper. So, what'd you think of the movie then?
Well, compared to my original time, I really enjoyed it.
Okay,
I mean,
so
the fight choreography was absolutely great. The cinematography, on top of that, I was quite enjoyed.
all right. Now, I'm guessing that you were into Mortal Kombat as well, like everybody else here, excluding me. So, your knowledge of the Mortal Kombat, did it work for you as a movie? Oh, look at that
It
happy
did.
smile there.
It did.
Oh,
I
okay,
took
cool.
so. I took it as more of a prequel than anything else. I mean, before the tournament, we're getting to know the characters again and a whole new cinematography, in a whole new world.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, we'll get into the nitty gritty in a minute, so let's go right over to Emmanuel. What did you think, buddy?
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought there were tons of callbacks to original Mortal Kombat, like even some of the other iterations that people might not have played. I know a lot of people took issue with the character Cole, but there are 2 things I like about it. One, they're introducing a character we're probably going to get in a video game anyways, so it's like a preview, like a sneak peek. And the other thing is that in Mortal Kombat, there was some eras where like you could change styles and also summon weapons to you, and Cole's ability to summon weapons instantly triggered that for me. I was just like, yeah, give me the goods. And then he starts fighting Goro with them, and it changes how his style is and how he approaches Goro, and everything about that was really tactical and a good metaphor for the video game. I loved all the characters and the various iterations. I was sad to see Kung Lao die, like just ouch.
Yeah.
And he didn't just die; he got soul sucked, and so that was it's like
Yeah.
Kung Lao, really? He's kind of one of the 2 like of the chosen. But now I think with Cole, it takes some of the pressure off Liu Kang to win everything all the time. So I like where they're going with that. And in the end, I think it propped up tons of what we want its franchise. I know we've heard whispers of prequels now, as well as sequels. And then if they give us more video games, they'll give us more storyline, as they do, and it'll help connect some of this. Some people look at this and go, there's not enough story, and I'm like, just wait. There's going to be so much stuff that falls around the universe for Mortal Kombat that you'll get it eventually.
How many times did you watch it?
3 times.
3 times. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so let's go up above there next to me. Let's do Frank and Liz. So, which one of you is going first?
I'll
You go first.
I liked a lot of it. I actually really liked a lot of it. There was a couple things in there I was like, whatever. I didn't like how they did the Arcana or whatever it was, because the Arcana in the game, I think it was, if I remember right, was just stuff you can find, so they incorporated all that in there. But the one thing that really annoyed me, I loved Kano, but at the same time, I'm like, the reason why you shoot a laser out of your eyes because it's cybernetic. You don't just get that power,
So
And-
I feel like there's a translation there, because like when she throws the acid or whatever on, or the stuff on him at the end, his eye fizzles out, kind of giving you the like concept that his. As I thought that's where I was like, okay, so it is mechanical, kind of like Jax's arms.
Yeah,
I guess.
I just the rest. Other than that, I really enjoyed the movie. I actually did like it a lot. The whole from start to finish, it was just a fun movie. And it even like I even say this, like the corniness, her hamminess or whatever it is, the hokey, just how it was made. It felt like that was an Easter egg to the original movie too. Like it flowed the same way. People complaining about, like, if you brought up the story, there's not enough story here. there's so many characters, so many storylines. They can't put it into one film right now in any way, shape, or form. I enjoyed the fact that they started it off pre-tournament. They showed how Shang Tsung, it doesn't care. He's trying to win this tournament at any means necessary to have Earth be taken over by Outworld and stuff like that.
Typical Shang Tsung bullshit, by the way.
They did hit the characters, aside from their powers, they did hit the characters almost spot on all of them. Like completely.
Yeah, I coming from this end though, Frank. I mean, my opinion of, like, I got lost a little bit, to be honest with you guys, because I didn't know. I had, maybe because of there wasn't enough story. I'm not sure. I've watched it 3 times myself, and I liked the action. I thought the action was phenomenal. I liked Sub-Zero right there in the beginning, where he gets the ice spike on his hand, and you know what he's going to do with it.
Really cool how they did the
it looked
effects
very
on it, right?
cool.
Yeah.
Like,
and so some of that was awesome, but I still got lost in some of the storyline. And I am going to put this out: the guy that played Kano, I like the original Kano guy better.
Oh,
he died though.
Yeah.
I know,
He died of a
but I
drug
thought he
overdose
was,
and stuff like that.
But I thought he was awesome. I thought he was better.
Wasn't he in that show Jags or whatever it was called?
Jags, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good series and everything like that.
Yes.
But he was in there for a little bit, and I think he died in like 2003. He was also the Swiffer guy, the first Swiffer guy in the commercials.
Well, there's some
Serious.
information that we didn't know. So okay, Liz, so you're going to take Sean's spot tonight. So Sean, what do you think?
All right, so I enjoyed it quite a bit. We did watch it about 3 times through.
Okay.
One of the things I took a little bit of, one of the things I didn't like was how quickly they killed off Goro. I mean, I know that it was towards the end of the movie, but you see Goro towards the beginning of the tournament in the original. So, that being said, it does open it up for Kintaro, Shiva, and some of the other ones like that.
Mutaro, even though he's not a...
Mutaro isn't really one of them, though.
Even though he's not a Shokan or whatever his species is called. The half dragon, half human.
So, that's one of the things I didn't like, but I did like some of the aspects, like, okay, so Bihan being in there and what he's probably going to turn into was a huge bonus for me. And then, obviously, the storyline that they were able to bring in with Hanzo and his entire family and giving him more of that background instead of just being this, like, demon from hell that he's always been. They actually gave him that background that he should have. We actually watched the animated one that they just put out shortly before the movie, and it gave a little bit more detail to his background and made him more of an anti-hero than anything. And then
True.
Cole seems kind of lame, but he could be really cool in the future.
Thank you, because I was thinking that the same way, because I had talked to Frank about this last night, and it's like, I watched the original, and I'm like, then I kind of scanned when you guys were showing me stuff last night. I'm like, who is the Cole guy? Where does he fit in? What is
He's
his?
brand new.
Which I didn't know.
chime in on that.
Okay,
Yep.
so which I didn't know. I just like action movies, and I thought it would be, I'm a fan of the old Japanese, fighting movies, and I'm like, oh man, this will be great action, so that was my main thing. Plus, I just like Raiden, but whatever.
Well, yeah, Raiden's awesome. I'm sorry, Emanual, you were going to say something real fast.
Go ahead.
Yeah, in regard to Cole specifically, I think the reason that a lot of people are also lost on this movie is because Cole exists, right? There are so many characters already that if you are not familiar with the franchise, everybody's like, where's all the story from this guy? Liu Kang? I don't even know who that guy is. That guy threw a sombrero? What's that all about? Like, people get like so lost in the translation of it. Now you have a new character, and that's who the story focuses on, right? But it focuses on the lineage of Scorpion, and it also sets it up in multiple layers, because he also has a daughter who is integral to this storyline. So we don't know. She's also Blood of Scorpion. Like, who is she going to be? Are they going to fast forward through time? And then in Cole's fight with Goro, like, yes, he dies, but then at the end, Shang Tsung smokes everybody away that died. So the only person that truly died is Kung Lao. Like, Kung Lao is dead.
Right.
But like the other ones, even if he's just taking their bodies, like there's so many things he can do with that, like whether it's using their soul as an essence to like create a new thing, or like take Goro to his daddy and be like, did you see what they did to your son? And then Goro's dad's like, I guess I gotta come out of retirement and show these young bucks how it's done. You know?
One of the things with the whole Goro thing, that's actually kind of its own thing. Like you brought up how easy it was to kill. That's how it was in the original game. It was super easy to kill Goro. You just jump. He was
a mini boss.
Yeah, and then you go to Shang Tsung, and that's the hard boss. You know,
it literally happened in almost that translation, right? Like he dies, and then like that's the next.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as far as there not being a tournament, so yes, there was like no tournament, but Jack says like let's force the tournament on them, and so the defeat and even some of the like fighting on the bridge and stuff gives you the feel like there's kind of a 1v1 bracketed like tournament going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Shang Tsung is gonna actually start a war, right? So he's gonna go, okay, I'm gonna take that as our first defeat of our 9 victory stretch, and then we're gonna go get one of the other crazy bosses from any of the other awesome Mortal Kombat timelines, and we're gonna start a war between all the different realms.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my guess, right? Is because even if they have like the tournament, the next realm, what's gonna happen, right? Shang Tsung's gonna lose, good guys win, maybe some cool fights. So what's the surprise? Like, where's the turn? And I think the turn is exactly what Mortal Kombat loves to do. Give you a little bit of fighting just so that they go, oh, screw the tournament, let's just have a war. And then they get their butts kicked. And then, they go back to, I guess we'll have a tournament since we can't beat you in the war.
One of the things that I'm liking is how they're setting it up for all of these other characters that we love. All those of us who play the games a lot, like that we absolutely love. So I was pretty stoked to see Melina in there off the bat. I can't say I was really excited about how she looked.
Well,
until she finally opened her mouth.
Yeah,
but,
I was like, okay, that's rad. That fits.
Yeah, until she finally opened her mouth. But I kind of wanted to see it more because, she's half of what is Baraka's race?
Tarkatan,
thank you. She's half Tarkatan and half human, and she's created. So she's she's actually cloned from Katana.
Yeah.
But, so I was excited to see that. I want to see them introduce some of the other characters, like, oh gosh, what's her name? Sindel.
Well,
I would love to see Sindel in there.
You can't technically see Sindel right now because she's already been dead for 1,000 years.
Yeah, I want to see Sindel, though.
And that's, if they do it like the game, then...
Well, what everybody else wants, this is what Liz wants.
I know.
I want to see Sindel.
But if they do it like the game, this is how that war is going to start. Because...
Well, Chronica?
No, not Chronica, not yet. I don't even know if they're going to get into that one. That might be...
That'd be awesome.
That's too far along, because that's merging different universes. That's merging the Midway...
It is Warner Brothers, though.
It is, but that's merging Midway and NetherRealm Studios, and they came together and said that universe is no longer there. But
what I'm saying is they're opening it up for a bunch of different characters to come in because they kind of have to. Because there have been so many characters created by the games since the movie. Since all of that they kind of have to open it up a little bit more and make it a bigger world.
Exactly. The Florida. I would say Florida.
the
Florida
also
man.
Correlated a problem.
The Florida man theory with Mortal Kombat.
I don't even want to know what
Natalie, if Mama ain't happy, no one's happy.
That's
Reptile's the Florida man of Mortal Kombat, isn't he?
Pretty much.
Yeah, there you go.
My
He
God.
is I think that it's legal to actually go after or to hunt Reptile because he's an invasive species of Florida now and all this other stuff. And
oh my God.
That was a long setup for the payoff, wasn't it?
By the way, Natalie is right. If Mama ain't happy, no one's happy.
Yes.
So, Gerard, you're sitting there quiet. We're not hearing much from you. So, come on, give us some opinions here and give us some ideas of what you think about the characters.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh, really?
No, I really enjoyed it. I mean, the way the characters, how they did each one of them. I love the fact that they went ahead and took time just a little bit to go ahead and show some of what they did from the storyline, but not doing it too much. What I really enjoy, though, is a lot of the Easter eggs that they put into the movie. I mean, aside from seeing the characters that we really love from the games, being able to see stuff on the wall, like, throw on Sonya Blade's wall, or there's Katana's fan in the background during the pit. But my favorite one would have to be in the beginning, when Jax talks to Cole and mentions that he went ahead and defeated a particular fighter for the belt. That fighter's name, I just kind of screamed when I heard it.
I'm sorry.
Ted's over here like, you gonna tell me or just?
Yeah, I heard it like robot. I heard it robot.
What?
Like, yes. You got me suspense.
Okay, so what name?
So if you're Ed, the name was Edward Tobias.
Ed Boon.
Is who he fought.
Ed and
Exactly.
Ed Boon
Yep.
and Tobias.
Ed Boon and John Tobias.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
That leads into the Bihan thing, what he's going to become too.
Yep. Noob Cybot.
Yes.
So
I wasn't saying it out loud yet.
If
I
you
am
watch
gonna throw
carefully,
this out
they changed
there.
the suit.
Yeah.
He did.
Well, I was kind of like
At the fight on Cole.
I'm sorry.
When I watched this movie versus the original movie, I was confused. I think mainly because like with the tournament itself, like we had brought up, I think Frank did earlier. I think, but the tournament, yes, with like Goro and then Johnny. I was like, where's Johnny?
Yep.
It's like, and then at the end of this movie, you see
Citizen
it pan to his
Cage.
poster. To Citizen Cage. Yeah. So I was a little confused there, but other than that, I mean, I don't know why I enjoyed the older movie versus this new one. I really don't know why.
For me, it's nostalgic, and that was one of the first times I actually ever heard industrial music too. Was KMFDM. They did the entire soundtrack, and I was like, "This is cool."
I love KMFDM.
Famous, they keep Madonna from doing movies. That's the acronym. That's one of the millions of acronyms.
Frank, Jesus.
I'm sorry. I love that band and I love that acronym. There's other ones I don't want to actually.
We're not going to get into.
We're not trying to be
ones.
too vulgar here, so.
Well, I was looking for in the original movie there was a lot of that dun, 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 you know what I mean? And then in this newer one, I don't believe I heard it as much.
Yep.
They did the symphonic version of that at the end of it.
Yeah.
And actually, kind of, I think at the start of it, but it was it was literally just, like I said, a
parts
symphonic.
of it. They take little bits of it and they interweave it into the soundtrack,
which was cool. Nod off to KMFDM because they made some more money off this. But it was it was one of the first times I brought it up with the whole Godzilla versus Kong thing. Music is very essential to a movie, and KMFDM put that style, that industrial metal, I guess it's not even industrial dance. Is that what they would be considered?
It was, I guess
they showed that this can be fighting music and stuff like that because it fits so well in there. I mean, right after that, and that movie came out in what 93? No, it was.
That was 94.
Was it 92 or 94? 95. Yeah, it came out in 1995. 3 years later, what else do we get? When it's using the same type of music, we got The Matrix. So that's when they started actually the high paced music and all that stuff that builds up fight scenes and everything.
Natalie saw them live.
Natalie saw KMFDM live. So.
What? I'm jealous.
But
Nice.
that builds that right there for me. That soundtrack made it nostalgic for me, and I can always go back and watch it. I find myself watching the Liu Kang reptile fight scene from that movie. That movie is freaking awesome. And even going on and seeing I can't think of the actor's name who played Liu Kang. When I saw him in Death Race, and then I saw that
Robin
it was
Shou.
Robin Shou, yeah. When I saw that it was him in Death, he was what was his name? Something 2K in Death Race, and then I looked at the director, writer of the new Death Race movie, which was Wes Anderson, I think. That's the one who did Mortal Kombat. I always forget his name. So, but yeah, it's just nostalgic. It's so good.
Yeah, I'll follow in on that. I think that's 100%. Like I posted on Facebook as soon as I finished watching it, my hot take. Of course, my hot take is just to make other people go watch it, so that way when this goes live, they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw that movie. You said it was perfect." And yeah, I said it was perfect. But the thing is, it was perfect for me. Like, I know that's not going
Right.
to be for everybody.
Oh, exactly.
And I didn't have very high expectations going into it, so I didn't need a lot, right? But they gave me
Right.
more than I expected. They gave a lot of awesome callbacks, and like, I found myself constantly pointing them out. Even the first time I'm watching the movie, I'm a little distracted by the fan sub, but I'm enjoying it so much that I'm like waiting on the edge of my seat for the next one. I'm like, I'm even like stretching. Like, there's at one point where like it is the Goro fight versus Cole, and Goro picks up a weapon too, and I'm so ready for them to use weapons. I'm like, Goro's got a weapon! Like, but then Cole gets actual weapons, and it was a thing. But like, at that moment, I was hyped, you know, and
Right.
I spent the whole movie
Yeah.
like that. And so one of my favorite callbacks, and I got out of my seat, I even clapped, I laughed, I had to like breathe for a second because I was like, you know, when you're like trying to laugh but you can't anymore because you're just done. The part where Liu Kang is tripping Kano, and he's like, is that the only move you know? Any kid who grew up in the 90s
Yes.
who played Mortal Kombat with their bigger brother, little sister, bigger sister, it's trip, trip, and then you're just like, whoop, whoop,
Nope.
whoop, and that or the uppercut, and you know, you just get juggled around, and then there's like, finish him, and you're like, really? I get up from the trip to do this? That's not even fair. Like, he got up longer for this part than he did the whole time he was tripping. And even so, speaking of this part, when Jax fights what's his name, General with the big hammer.
I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. I can't.
Redneck.
What is his name?
I can't think of
didn't
his.
I never actually recognized him from a game. I know he's in one of the games.
General Randek.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When he's fighting Randak, like, and Randak is ready for the finishing move, he literally does like the little wobbly dance and waits for Jax to do the pa 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 smash combo. And
I do remember that scene.
I laughed, I cried, I giggled. I was just like, yes, more of this, please. Keep going. And that's what they do, is they just spoon feed you so much of the little fan service that if you're a fan, you'll watch it. And there's enough of them that are franchise fans that'll watch it. But the hype around this is it doesn't matter. It's post-COVID, pre-COVID world where
Right.
we're just like, it's somewhere in between and we want to watch movies and be entertained. And Mortal
Right.
Kombat shouted, are you not entertained?
Right.
And, you know, so
Right.
we wanted it. We want it's violence. It's the Coliseum, right? Some of the best moves from Mortal Kombat are really taking frame for frame out of the game and put into this.
Yes.
And
Oh,
then
Liu
even
Kang's,
shot from like,
Liu
Yes.
Kang's fatality on
Oh, yeah.
Cabal. I was like, oh, finally
yeah.
we get to see this badass thing go on right here. Because in the other one, it was the second movie.
Kung Lao's.
Kung Lao's was awesome.
Yes.
The whole thing where you think he's gonna be,
Yes.
he's not gonna fight well, but he took out I can't think of her name, the succubus chick.
Natara.
Yeah, he took her out in a second. I was like, this is cool. This is really cool. But the Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I actually hated that movie. It was
I want
cool,
X-rays.
but it was cool. It was cool for when I was a kid. I was like, whatever, I love it. But I went back when I watched it when I was an adult. I was like, this is lame. But it was his animality in there. Liu Kang's animality was just absolutely horrible, and I was like, they did not do it right. And this one, I know there was technically his fatality, but it was kind of a combination of his animality and that, which just in flames and just coming down and just taking him out. I was like, this is cool. So cool.
Yeah,
I do-
and it's CG, but like you kind of expect this is going to be some CG
Oh, yeah.
anyways. But at the same time, it wasn't bad. Like you watch it and you're like, okay.
So I'm gonna say something because I did play Mortal Kombat. I not like you guys. I did get an opportunity, and there was a part where Scorpion pulls his skin and stuff off, and flames comes out of his eyes and his mouth, and he, burns the guy. And then it was like, wait a minute, that was in the movie. It's like, so that was cool to see.
That was actually his.
There was an ex-
That was
what?
actually his newer fatality from Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah,
You
well,
know what
all I'm
was-
saying is that with the game that I played, I just thought it was really cool that stuff like that was actually from the game to the movie or movie to the game. There was stuff that was still shown, so that if you're a gamer, if you really enjoyed that stuff, then the movie for you was enjoyable. You know what I mean? It isn't just like me sitting back there viewing things as a fan, saying, "Hey, this is pretty cool. I like all the action." Oh, I mean, there was times where Scorpion there was sticking his right in the first couple scenes. He stuck the knife in the guy's head and pulled the knife out, and all this blood went all over the place.
That was cool.
And I was like, "Holy moly!" I mean,
was-
look at the blood. I mean, this was really, really cool. You know,
I want to
but
see more X-rays.
Oh, the X-ray. The X-ray.
I want to see more X-rays. Like
Did they
started.
show it in there? I don't.
the only thing that I
It was a
didn't
teaser
like,
in the trailer.
the only thing I didn't care for was, like, on the video game, when he goes, "Get over here!" In the movie, it was like, "Get over here!" You know, I'm like, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't
Get over
as.
here, please. You know, it wasn't like get over here. You know, it's. I don't know.
At least
it just
Scorpion
wasn't-
had more lines in this one than he did in the first one.
That's
It was literally. They went
Get
to.
over here. Come here.
Yeah, it was get over here, come here, and then all of a sudden he went down to the nether realm, and it was all welcome, and that was it.
Oh, don't forget, get down here too.
Yeah, get down there.
I don't know. I just thought
You
that
still
some of
got to
it, I mean,
admit, the fight scene in the original was amazing.
It was.
Oh yeah.
I like the fight scenes in the old one, original, but I mean, it was still cool. The original one though showed those little like lizard creatures, and there was a couple of them in the original one. Where there was only one, I think, in the new one, right?
Yeah, well, you're talking about Reptile.
Reptile.
Is that? Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yes, reptile. Yes.
People had a problem with how they made Reptile look in this. I was like,
But does anyone
Did
remember
you-
the original?
the CG from the original, who's this chameleon?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was terrible. But they did do it proper when he went into the chest of that I guess fallen corpse or something like that, and then became Reptile. And that whole, like I said, I keep watching that fight scene. I'll just go back and watch it again here and there because it's such a good fight scene. Just
Well,
how
his
Liu
head-
Kang.
It is.
Sorry, Frank. His head on the original kind of looked like Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of just a round,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, kinda.
It sort of reminded me of that, you know, with just teeth, you know. But that's what it
It's
sort of
Jack
reminded me.
Bang Molina.
It was cool with how they did it in the original one with getting in there. It was almost like even that was an Easter egg to the game because it was almost like a secret to find him. Then they found him, and then they had to fight him. And if you fought Reptile in the very first game, you fight him in the bottom of the pit, and he has all of Sub-Zero's and all of Scorpion's powers, and he's faster and stronger.
It's almost impossible to beat.
Yeah, and it was the same thing with Liu Kang. It just him getting wrecked the entire time, and then finally, once you get good enough to beat him, you're just tearing him down. I thought it was so cool.
Didn't Lou look a little small though compared to the original? He didn't look as buff or as.
A bit.
He looked young. He looked really young too. Like, how old
it's a
is this
prequel.
kid? Like 16 years old or something? I mean, he was, you know.
So a lot of the characters are based on like real life metaphors. So like Johnny Cage was supposed to be what's his name?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, thank you. And so Liu Kang is that Bruce Lee metaphor. And so what I loved is what we got from like if Bruce Lee were able to play this role, which is a super fit athlete. Like when you see him like flex, you're like, dang, that dude might be tiny, but he in real life could probably knock a hole through your face. And then when he fights, he doesn't fight like Bruce Lee. He fights like Liu Kang. And so I was really happy to see that they got both of those metaphors really well.
Yeah.
I just don't know it as well as you guys, so I'm taking your word on it. So,
So I only have like one problem with the movie, which I felt like was just an absolute for me, like what the heck. And then one thing I really would have loved to see, and that would have just kind of put a little bow on it for me. So the thing that I like is still irking me now is that Kano sticks the pendant in his pocket, and then they're like, "Put that back," and he's like, "Haha, what?
Oh yeah.
What amulet?" And then they're like,
Yeah.
"Sure, why not?" But it cuts away, and we don't know what happened to the damn amulet that is just sitting out like
Shinnok.
a decoration.
But
Like,
we're waiting
that's
for
a big
Shinnok.
deal. Yeah, but Kano
It's a very
died.
big deal.
So, like, is he gonna go back to the corpse and be like, "Did I just like?" He could have done that from the beginning because the place wasn't very, very well guarded. Like the monks who built Jax's arms Kung Lao and Kano and everybody probably couldn't have held their best against the full forces just trying to get the amulet. Like, why didn't they? Even when Kano went to their side, wouldn't he have been like, "Hey guys, I picked up this special amulet in the Magic Palace thingy. Does it do anything? Like, have you ever played D&D? Identify a magic item. Like, that's the first thing everybody does when they pick up something they don't know what it is. So I was just like, no, you don't just show us that and then get to not.
But that amulet was for like a god or something, right?
Shinnok.
That's his. Yeah. He's locked in it.
Shinnok is locked in there, and
he's one of the nastiest elder gods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like more powerful than Raiden. I think he's more powerful than the elder gods, and that's why he's locked in there because he went mad.
Yeah, and the last thing we need is like Kano hawking it on the black market, and they're just like, "What happened to that amulet?"
Well, that's the thing. Kano's not exactly smart. He just knows how to fight, and he likes to steal shit.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to get something he can make money off of. That's what he cares about.
Well. I gotta say this: he did not fight that well.
Oh, he didn't fight that well in the original game either.
It's mostly that laser. No. Really,
they could have wrapped it up though very easily. Like, "Hey, boss, I got this amulet. Can I join your team?" And he's like, "Great." And then he like puts it around his neck, and then we're like, "We know what happened to the amulet." But no, not even gonna just brush over it like it's a
pretty much.
like it's a bauble.
Yeah. So basically, completely going over the fact that Shinnok is going to be in this at some point.
Yeah, like come on.
Bringing up Shinnok and all that stuff.
True.
Even if say Kano did have it and he goes to Shang Tsung would not use the he would lock it away the same way Raiden did, because Shinnok is after everyone. He wants to murder all of them.
It's Quan Chi that wants him.
Quan Chi is his
acolyte.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry.
God, you guys are talking like Spanish to me here.
Yeah.
Quan Chi is actually a dope character too. He's like Shang Tsung's like evil corollary.
He's the god of the Nether Realm.
Okay.
That's.
I guess I got to do some research before the sequel comes out or the next one comes out, because
there's lots of great videos recapping a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, because what I'm thinking here is that from people that I've been talking to is that there are going to be at least 4 more movies.
4 more. So, and they're looking for Ryan Reynolds to be Johnny Cage.
You know, I have really mixed feelings on it.
But you know what? That is awesome, because I think he's one of those box office guys where people are gonna the girls love him because he's hot. The guys like him because he's action as well as the funny smart ass.
Ted was gonna say the guys like him because he's hot. Don't lie.
I did say that. Didn't I say that? Yeah. I did say that.
You said the girls like him because he's.
Oh yeah, well Ted did too. But anyways, it's just the fact is that I think he would be perfect for that. I really do. But I did hear prior to that it was supposed to be Keanu Reeves.
Which would be pretty. See, I'm conflicted about Ryan Reynolds because I like him. I like him because he's funny. I think he's a good actor. The thing is,
I think he's a smartass, and I love him. He's just funny.
I absolutely love him. So, are people going to be able to get past him being Deadpool? As much as, yes, he needs other roles other than Deadpool, obviously. But are people going to get past him being Deadpool?
Well, the thing is
because he embodies that.
Just like Keanu Reeves, though. Just like Keanu Reeves. Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds in every single movie he plays in. Keanu Reeves is Keanu Reeves in every single movie he plays in, with the exception of Bill and Ted. But Keanu Reeves is Keanu Reeves in all the movies.
Totally Keanu.
So
I know.
I would go and say it. I don't think either of them should play the role. So Keanu's too old. Like, Johnny Cage is going to spend most of the movie shirtless. Keanu probably doesn't want to spend most of the movie shirtless. Dude's a little. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love him. I don't mind seeing him without a shirt, whatever. But like, come on, he's probably not the one. And then even Ryan Reynolds, like, don't get me wrong, he's built like a Dorito. But in the same sense, like, I think that he's too high profile of an actor for these. Like, if you look at the starring cast, look at the original cast, like, can you, like, I guess Cole is arguably one of the biggest actors, like the guy who plays Scorpion, one of the bigger actors, but for the most part, they're all, like, on the lower end of that kind of still budding celebrity. That's what I would like to see for most of that, to keep consistency.
So you think this should be a newer actor, somebody new, younger, somebody that has the ability?
I would love to see, like,
there's
somebody
one other person
either
they were
from,
thinking
like,
of too.
WWE or like the MMA world that has a background in like entertainment fighting, but also probably like the body for it, and maybe could use like that branch out into acting. Now, what I don't want is like a Ronda Rousey to come up in here and be like, "I'm Johnny Cage." Like, don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
Well,
they have to embody it, right?
Oh, you guys are killing me. You're killing me. You're killing me. I love
They
Ronda
were already
Rousey.
talking about the Miz
I love
being,
Ronda Rousey
Johnny
too,
Cage.
but like her acting is middling, and like I would
Yeah.
like somebody if they're gonna come in, they gotta embody it, right? Like Macho Man Randy Savage was that 100% of the time. Dude just lived it, right? So we need somebody who is like Johnny Cage in real life. You think Ryan Reynolds because he's like that, but he's like that like 90% of the time. We need the dude who wakes up and eats his cereal with sunglasses on. He's just like, yeah, getting ready for that cage fight. Gotta eat them Cheerios.
You're right. You're right, though. You're right.
We need Bonesaw. If you're talking about Macho Man Randy
Well,
Savage,
there you go.
we
You
need
got the
Bonesaw.
Miz.
Bonesaw,
Okay, so Gerard, you were saying who is the other actor?
They were actually talking about the Miz from WWE.
That'd have been
See the
that's
Miz.
a startup.
Yeah, that
That could
Miz,
work.
That could work.
But it could work too, because like Emmanuel was saying, WWE. I wouldn't pull from UFC in any way, shape, or form from this, because Ronda
Miz is one
Rousey,
of them, yeah.
all she can do is look mean on camera for some odd reason. She's good in WWE as a wrestler, as Rowdy Ronda Rousey, but you know,
she's okay in WWE. She's okay.
She's okay. But
I love her, but she's okay.
She's learned a little bit more since Fast and the Furious, whatever 7 that she was in, and all she could do in that was just look mean and just stand there like this and be like, "You want to fight?" I'm like, "Stop! You don't need to be. You're a UFC fighter."
They're thinking about Chris Evans too.
Really?
Yeah.
Now see, Chris Evans.
I could see that.
Awesome. I could see
Oh, I'm sorry if he does it.
Yeah.
Johnny K. I'm sorry. I was thinking of Chris Hemsworth. Never mind. Chris Evans. I
So-
don't
Thinking
know.
about Chris Evans.
I
I
was
think
thinking
Chris
Chris
Evans
Hemsworth.
could have done
They're
it
thinking
when
Zac
he
Efron.
did Scott Pilgrim versus the World, right? That era, age, Scott Pilgrim, that attitude would have been fantastic. But that is not Chris Evans of today. Like, dude's about to do some Lifetime stuff. Like, I think he's probably not the one.
That
like, we
Disney-
gotta
Zac
go.
Efron is another choice on here. I just went and looked up
Okay.
what are all the options.
Not the worst option. Still probably
They-
high profile, but not the worst.
Disney
Looking
also.
at him, he actually could do it
Yeah.
really well.
Disney
He's got
also
the
wouldn't let Chris Evans go because even though Captain America is on the moon right now, or wherever he's at in there, they're gonna bring him back. The same thing with Robert Downey Jr. They are not gonna let them go over to the enemy, which is Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers is doing way too many good things right
Not
now.
Hydra, Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Kind
They're-
of the same, not the same.
James
I was
Marsden.
with Emmanuel there because I was thinking, wait a minute, the enemy. Yeah, that's Hydra. Well, it's like, okay, I'm glad you. Thank you.
I
You.
know.
You helped me there for a second.
They they're thinking of James Marsden too.
Who's James Marsden?
He played Scott or Cyclops in X-Men.
No.
No.
The new X-Men, the newer.
I don't
Yeah.
see him as a good option, to be honest.
No, it's got to be somebody like
No.
not too tall, not too short,
Oh,
well
I know
built,
exactly
that has
who it
the
should be.
abilities. You know, so who?
Gerard.
What?
Gerard. Gerard.
Gerard should be Johnny Cage.
He's got the
Yes.
glasses. If he just turns them into sunglasses, 100% looks exactly like him.
I'm kind
He's
of
even wearing
voting
the
Zac
UFC shirt.
Efron here
Look
right
at
now.
him. Look at him with the UFC shirt.
Ready?
He
Do
took his headphones off. What'd you scare him for?
I thought
He's
he was
all
going to take his
done.
shirt off. I was like,
He's
here
gonna
it
take his shirt off.
comes.
He's frozen right now.
He froze
He
through.
is frozen.
There he goes.
We're gonna
Oh,
come
there you
back
go.
to him
He
shirtless.
flexed so hard.
Nope. I'm here.
Actually,
Okay.
can I bring something up? The
Hey.
there we go. The Warner Brothers trailer that we showed Ted last night. The old,
You know what?
old one.
Yes. I mean, I wanted you to bring that up because
I was
I
a
don't know
little
if this is something that Emmanuel
Very nice,
or
yeah.
Gerard has seen. I'm pretty sure they have, but you know that's. I thought it was. I could watch that whole series if that was a
Oh!
movie. If that was
Yeah.
a movie,
Which one?
I would have. I mean,
It's when they turn Reptile into a serial killer,
Well,
and they
it's-
basically make all of the
What happened was
Outworld and the underworld tournament fighters into serial killers, and Hanzo's supposed to be going after them.
Yeah. So what happened is when Warner Brothers took over everything, because when Midway went under, the one thing that was going to sell to whoever got it, and Warner Brothers, went right for Mortal Kombat. They took it over, and then they all of a sudden made it. They did what was it called? Like a whole marketing campaign on it, and they just made a series of short movies or films and whatever, and it was literally just that. It was just a brand new look at it, a brand new spin on things that was not going to be canon in any way, shape, or form, but it was something cool that they did. When Baraka was a
failed plastic surgeon.
Yeah, failed plastic surgeon, and that he
did install.
He put his own blades in his arms, and they were just scalpels attached to wooden things, and he was able to make them come out. Reptile
was one of those children that are born with the scales, basically, that don't usually live past a certain, they don't usually live past birth, really. But somehow he was 33 at this point, and he was murdering people, keeping their heads in his freezer, and eating them when he got hungry.
Jackson's... Yeah, I mean, they showed this to me, and I was just like,
it's cool.
This is awesome. This is wild. So maybe what you guys should do is make sure you send Gerard and Emanual a link to it or whatever, so they can check it out if they haven't,
So, also pertinent to this episode, I would love for there to be some spin-off TV shows the way Marvel is doing with all of these sweet Marvel
like WandaVision type stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if we got a Mortal Kombat miniseries that evolved in between the movies to give you more character, more backstory, like you could go on whole tangents with characters off into the world, explore the different realms, and then come back for the movie. Like that would be sick.
They could do the MCU feel and just expand everything with these characters because there's so many of them.
Oh yeah. Trying to find
just out of curiosity, I mean, I have no idea, but do we have a figure as in how many characters there really are?
Give me the phone. I'll look it up right now.
First,
or you look it up.
Real quick, the series was called Rebirth, Mortal Kombat Rebirth, and I think there's like 3 or 4 shorts together. They do the whole Hanzo thing. They actually redid the entire Scorpion fight where he's actually saving his family. That's where that all comes from.
64 playable characters.
Thank you.
Wow. That's a lot of characters. That's a lot of... Now, do you think they're going to try and put those in all these movies?
God, I hope so.
It's like Emmanuel said, hopefully they do a series and stuff like that. They actually go off and...
So, there's 97 total characters, 64 playable characters.
And there's also we'll see evolutions of characters. So just like we're seeing Bihan with Sub-Zero and his evolution there, we'll see some of these characters get revealed out of other characters.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think they're gonna bring in Smoke ever?
They have to. He's Lin Kuei.
I thought that's what was left of Sub-Zero after Scorpion.
I thought they were going to Noob.
That's Noob Saibot.
I thought they were turning him into Noob Saibot.
He was wearing black.
Joke.
Oh, sorry. I'm like,
way over my head.
You got nerds and dorks right here. We're like,
I was really
no.
That Frank was gonna bust in with the toasty.
I forgot. I'm so happy about Noob Saibot being in this.
No, I am overly excited to see Noob Saibot in a movie.
No. I've got to back you guys up because, like I said, I'm a newbie to some of this stuff. So the stuff that Kano was that he talked to down in the cavern or whatever it was that convinced Kano to switch sides. Cabal. Now he was actually human at one point.
He's human the entire time. What happened? The backstory behind him was, I forgot exactly how it happened, but he got burned up. And the Black Dragon and Kano, he's saying it's ironically that he's saying that how he said it. Kano saved him. Kano turned him into that to save his life.
Yeah, because he had to wear this thing all the time to live.
Yeah, he can't get out of it.
He would die.
It's like an iron lung and then something.
Yeah. Okay.
Darth Vader. He's Darth Vader basically. He's Darth Vader who's funny. So
with
I thought he was a great character myself.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
The guy who voiced him was the one who played Charlie Manson in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and played Charlie Manson. What was that series? The other thing he actually played Charlie Manson in.
Was it? No, it wasn't Mindhunter.
Yeah, it was Mindhunter.
Was it Mindhunter?
It's Mindhunter. He played Charlie Manson in Mindhunter too. He did the role so well as Charlie Manson. He basically
so good.
He basically got in a couple movies.
Holy crap, he was so good.
But his voice, he's voicing Cabal. He's not playing Cabal. That's a stunt man. I can't think of the guy's name. So.
You know, I'm learning
on
here, so
this.
that's I'm learning, so that's great. I mean, I myself, coming just from an action fan that likes, I knew very little about these characters and stuff, but you know, Gerard and I talked about this. Is like, how are we going to, being a new show, how are we going to rate these things? Are we going to do like 1 through 10? Are we going to do like, how do you guys think we should rate these movies?
1 through 10 sounds fine. Or
I would go with a video game scale ranking if I were like I had my druthers, yeah, like go D through A and then S if it's just like the best of the best, like alright.
We can just do the ratings. We can just do this is rated E for everyone.
And 1 through 10 is fine. Like
because I've never
game.
ranked or seen anything ranked. Like
S
that
is hard
before.
to get sometimes.
Okay, so
especially
that-
Ninja Gaiden.
allow me to shed some light on you then, Ted, because this is
Okay.
relevant to Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
And that Mortal Kombat is a game of champions where you play and those champions have like moves, counter moves, and meta that they fit into, especially if you play online play, right?
Okay.
And so Mortal Wombat, oh my goodness.
Robert
White.
White.
Throw man off a train.
Go the Aussie version.
That's why I started
Mortal
laughing
Wombat.
because I saw Mortal Wombat and I'm just picturing it in my head now.
So
Koala.
in the world of like video games, people rank the champions on this scale of like kind of papers, if you will, like in school, where it's like D is terrible, and then like C is like okay but below average, and B is like
okay.
average, and then A is like this was great, and then S is like a superior tier. It's everything above A plus, and there aren't many things in the S tier, right? But if it's something is like, for me, Godzilla, this new one, didn't even make it into the S tier. Loved it, fantastic, but it would have had to been everything, everywhere, all the time to be an S tier movie. So since this is a fighting game movie, I thought it appropriate for the ranking scale to be based on that. But then we're setting the precedent. If we do this every month, and next week we decide to review The Color Purple, and we're like, yeah, Color Purple, S tier movie, people are going to be like, what is this ranking system?
Whoopi Goldberg, S tier actor.
Right.
What did you guys just say something bad there? No. We're trying to be. Let me explain this to you here real fast.
We're saying we enjoy it.
They're looking at all the pie charts, the graphs, and everything. And we'll just get this done.
We'll talk about the metagame of movies. Here we go.
Yeah.
Color Purple.
Well, I think if we did the 1 through 10 scale, would be great. 10 being great, and then 1 being like.
We could do the Spinal Tap 1 through 10 scale.
Great
We
to
added-
11.
We added 11.
You guys are killing me.
Sorry.
So we're just going to
With
give
that
this an
being the
11
case,
out of 10?
I'd have to go ahead and say Kano's acting was an 11.
I did enjoy his acting.
Yeah, actually, I did like
These are
it.
pretty good.
I think he was probably the better one out of all of them, with
So
the
I
exception of the what's his name? Who played Scorpion? He was also in The Last Samurai. That movie is freaking awesome.
Oh,
too.
yeah. I can't
He
think of
was
his name.
fantastic.
Oh, yes.
He was great, though.
So I think we could probably meet in the middle. I think 1 through 5 is fine, because like 1 through 10, there's a lot of gray area. Like, what's
Yeah,
a 4.5 movie look like? What's like a 7.5? Like, are we really gonna split hairs here? But like a
1 through
3.5
5
versus a 4.5 is a big difference.
Yeah, 1 through 5 is
Yeah.
good for me. You know.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, no, that's cool. So still, but the new Godzilla movie for Emanuel did not make a like.
S tier.
2
Yeah,
hours
which would be
later,
a 5.
we're just gonna be
right?
on
Which
this
would
right
have been a
now.
5.
Well, if I were ranking the original one, like if I were ranking, since this is holdover content from our last episode, right? And we didn't necessarily rank the movie.
Right.
On a scale of 1 through 5, it probably ranks at like a 3.5. Amazing Story would have got it to 4, and like Amazing Story that also had all the callbacks that everything else in the movie had would have got it to a 5. But right now, we got like amazing CG plus some story and some other cool stuff, like 3.5. If that were a video game ranking scale, I'd have given it like a B+. It made me happy. I liked it above average, but not so much that it's like seal of approval. You know?
I think there's actually more room for error in a 1 through 5 rating your system because it's actually more strict. I actually think maybe we should do 1 through 7 possibly.
What the heck? Okay, we're getting out of control here.
1 through 6, you heathen.
We are getting out of control here.
So those was
1 through 8.1.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, so we're gonna come back to that in a minute for the scale. So
You know what? We'll just go ahead and roll percentage dice. How's that sound?
Oh, we could do that.
There we go. I got some dice right here.
I don't have that.
We got a whole bag.
You can't see them because they're black like this.
There we go. Of course, Emanual has a whole freaking thing full.
All right, so I'm gonna roll d6s. This is what our scale's gonna be. Here we go.
I got you.
A 9. We're 1 through 9.
We're gonna go 9? Okay, we're gonna go 9.
It's a good solid odd number.
There we go.
It has been chosen. The dice have spoken.
That is so corny,
Respect
but okay.
the Conea.
So 9 is the best, is awesome, and then the rest goes downhill. Fine.
And then we'll use you guys should use 10 as like the S.
Yeah.
There you go. 10 will be the S basically.
1 through 9 with S is 10.
What? Okay, so we're back to 1 through 10.
There we go.
That's fine.
But generally things are 1 through 9.
I'm still going to 11.
We just wasted 15 minutes on the rating scale, folks.
Anything that is above a 9 suddenly breaches into the D category of the A through S.
Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. All right, so we're gonna basically come back. We're gonna take a short break. We're gonna come back here. We're doing 1 through 9, but 10 being superb. Okay,
yes.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use that scale just because. That's
Robert,
it.
7.5.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna do a commercial. Then we're gonna come back, and I'm gonna mention a few movies that are coming up here in May. That, and then we're gonna choose our next movie. Or 2, because we have plenty of time. I really did think that, with a new show like this, an hour seems to be fine for it. I don't think we need to do any longer than an hour. So, but on the network, we gave ourselves an extra hour just because, so.
For that last hour, it's all going to be comedy improv, and we're just going to do it right now. We're just going to make it up. Whose line is it anyway
doing
style.
Like interpretive dance over there.
This is Ted's line where the points are made up and the lines don't matter. All right,
yes, exactly.
Scale of 1 through 9. Rate your first date.
Natalie summons horses.
On that note, folks, we are taking a break. We will be right back.
Get over here, break.
WLFE-DB.com, where you can find vodcast shows, podcasts, and more like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Paratalk Radio, Just Cindy, and more. So go check out www.WLFE-DB.com.
WLFE DB Radio is on Spotify with all its great shows like Across the Pond, Inside the Drag Closet, Step into the Paranormal, Just Cindy, Where's My Sage, Unfiltered Talks with Bryce, Metal Mayhem ROC, Paratalk Radio, Real Talk with Dom, and more. So download the Spotify app today to stay connected to all your WLFE DB radio shows.
All right,
Damn it.
folks, so we are back. You guys are nuts, but I love it.
Can I bring something up real fast? Real
Yeah.
quick. I'm sorry. That person in that Spotify commercial looks so lonely on the beach.
I think we should send Gerard to join him.
I know. That's okay. I cut off the second commercial just as,
Gerard,
just as she was starting using it. So.
I'm just saying we should send Gerard to the beach to join him.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He's all frozen again.
Gerard's in the middle of a blink. A really good blink.
Yeah.
He's actually the Flash, and what he's done is he's slowed himself down to the rest of us. And so
he's tapped into the Speed Force.
Oh, man, that's awesome. So, I think what we're going to do, because this is our second episode as the, what do we call ourselves again? Five sofa... How is it? Five sofa...
So fucking great.
Whatever.
I was.
Five sofa guy movie review.
I said Sofa King. We're the kings of the sofa.
I can bring up the website real fast.
Let's not bring up the Sofa King website. Let's not do that.
No, I'm talking about the Sofa Guy's Facebook page.
I like how Emanuel understood what I was saying.
Yeah. So five sofa guy movie review. So this is like our second episode doing it this way. So we'll get our shit together soon. I promise. So
don't lie to him, Ted. Don't lie to the audience. They know better.
Thanks, man. The support I'm getting from this guy. Anyway, so the new movie's coming out here for May. I don't know what you guys have been seeing that are coming out. They may interest you. But I do have a little list here. I wish they would stop making these movies, and I'm probably the only one that believes that. But the Fast and the Furious movies are really starting to get on my nerves.
They got my nerves a long time ago.
Luckily, this is actually supposed to be the last one.
So Fast and Furious 9 is coming out on the 19th.
Ends on 9 too.
Yeah.
And then we'll have Fast and the Furious S. We all know it's coming.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
I did like Hobbs and Shaw. I'm not gonna lie, because I do like The Rock a lot, and I like Jason Statham.
The Hobbs and Shaw, I liked that movie.
It was actually really good.
Are we getting a Mortal Kombat Ultra?
And the other, was it last week or the week before? I told you guys I binge watched the one with Keanu Reeves. What the hell was that called? John Wick. And I actually enjoyed them all. I actually enjoyed them all.
Those are coming out soon.
The fourth one is actually slated for next year. Finally,
can't wait.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure I was going to like them, but I did. So the second movie coming out here on May 26th, these are supposed to be big movies, but is The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. So if you're into horror, I guess that's supposed to be one of the new ones coming out.
You know, the first Conjuring I liked. This one, I don't know about the rest of them. I'm not too much into them.
Yeah. And Disney's got Cruella coming out. So...
who's playing Cruella again?
Oh, what's her face from...
She looked great.
Emma Stone.
No, she's Emma Stone. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't think that she'd do well, but they showed her look, and I was like, I actually kind of like it.
Go ahead.
Oh, Disney's on this big kick of all the villains. They're trying to show the human side of them. You know, especially with, like they did with
in Frozen, Elsa technically would have been a villain previously.
Yeah. Then
nothing says human side like a lady who skins puppies.
Yeah, right.
Wasn't Maleficent? They made Maleficent.
Yeah,
more, because she was an evil bitch. She was.
Well, they gave her a different side where it's not that she was evil; it's that she was fucked with.
She was messed.
Sorry, excuse my language.
Yeah. All right,
wait, are we not allowed to curse on this?
Well, no, we're good. Quiet Place 2. I didn't see the first one.
We walked out of the theater.
I actually got our money back. I was like, we literally we were in there because the theaters and all.
You straight Karen them on a bad movie.
No, we were actually.
I Karened them.
No, we were nice. We were nice. We were actually nice. I remember that.
They were sympathetic. They're like, we know it's terrible too.
That's basically what the lady said. I was like, they're monsters who can't hear anything. Are you serious? And they literally just tore down the #1 country in the world that would have protected everybody. That we had guns and tanks.
I finally saw what the monsters looked like, and I'm like, did they go into Stranger Things?
They did look cool, but it still was like, this is lame.
No, it was lame that we couldn't fight them.
Yes. that was the aspect of it. It was like, and everyone's just surviving by being quiet all the time. This ain't happening.
We got like 45 minutes into the movie and said we hadn't seen anything worth watching. Yeah. And walked out, and I was like, "Can we get our money back, please?" They're like, "We'll give you some tickets." I'm like, "That's fine. We'll be back. Just give us tickets."
Is essentially a toddler who you have to play the quiet game with. You know is gonna fail, but you give them the prize anyways.
Yeah.
We're gonna play the quiet game. Okay. I don't think you understand how this works. So we're gonna play the quiet game. 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Squirrel.
America, calm down. You're gonna get eaten by a monster. What? What? Did someone say monster?
Where?
So let's get back on track here. Now, there has been a lot of talk in media about people really want to see a new Gamera movie.
I hope so. Actually,
yes.
That would be cool for Legendary Warner Bros. to buy them out and actually have finally, a Gamera versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Gamera, or Kong versus Gamera, and stuff like that. Because
I would love to see a Kong Gamera team up.
That would be cool. That would be very cool. Very, very cool.
I still have a hard time with Gamera, but yeah, I think that would be cool.
What? Get out of here, Ted! Your Kaiju pass has been revoked!
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, watch the 3 movies that came out in the late 90s.
Nightmare Gamera is legit!
Nightmare Gamera is the best. Like, the absolute best. It was just so cool to see that.
They're like, but for real, it's Godzilla with a shell. Like, if you ever looked at a snapping turtle in an aquarium and you're like, dang, that thing is mean looking. It's that, but giant, right? Like, just, how can you be mad at that?
You gotta find the Turtle Man.
I need to know.
You gotta get the Turtle Man. Get the Turtle Man. He can come down and catch Gamera for us, and
actually going off on the whole, like the one of the reasons why I actually think they could go that way and actually purchase Gamera, because he's not as sought after as Godzilla is. With it's not Toho who owns him, and I think it is Toho who owns Gamera. I'm not sure.
I don't know,
but they did with the Hollow Earth and the power, where Godzilla and all the kaiju get their power, or the Titans, get their power, is the same thing as Gamera. He gets his power from the Earth's mana, and it's the exact same thing.
Katakawa.
Katakawa. Okay.
I would do backflips if there were a Gamera movie.
It would fit in perfectly.
I would love to see a Gamera movie.
Like,
I would be equally hyped for God as if it were a Godzilla movie. It's not quite Godzilla, but it's this close, and it could arguably be better because it's not stuck in a lot of the constraints of Godzilla.
It's at number 6 now, Robert. We're at number 6
for Tremors.
Yes.
It's just another one.
I thought it was number 7.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Is there 7 now?
I like those movies.
We just watched all the way through 6 right now.
I love Burt Gumble. He's awesome. He's one of my
Hello,
favorite
Dominic.
characters.
I see you in there, Dominic. They're talking about where, like, I would like to see, besides the whole Gamera thing, like, there's a lot of talk since this new Godzilla versus Kong came out of what people want to see. In fact, Legendary or Warner Brothers, one of the two, actually put it out there and said, what do you guys want to see next? So I'm going to start up here with Frank. What do you really want to see next?
With the
Godzilla?
With Godzilla, I'd actually like to see the whole Destroyer thing come to fruition, actually going into that. Basically just the giant devil that he fights. That's the end all be all. Oh, actually, no. Super Godzilla, Bagon. I actually would like finally for them to bring Bagon into
That'd be awesome,
the movies, because Super Godzilla the game, that's the main character, and actually Super Godzilla is Space Godzilla. That's what he looks like, with the exception there's no crystals coming off of him. But that would be freaking awesome to actually see in a movie finally. And hopefully the Warner Brothers just said, well, you guys don't have this, you're not using this character anymore, we're just going to buy him off you. No leasing, no borrowing, we want this character for our series. And they do.
Well, couldn't they do that with King Caesar, because they're really not using him?
I don't know, he's already been in a couple movies, and for me, I would like to see something that's never been in a movie. It's cool that in the new Singular Point series that they had Gabra's in it. From the movie after Destroy All Monsters. What was it called again? The one where it was a dream. It's technically not canon. the little boy
Godzilla Goes to Hell.
No, that's a comic.
I was like, I don't.
Which is actually a pretty good
I
comic.
actually want to see that, but that was my answer.
Sorry, I'm in whatever mode. But Gabra is actually in Singular Point. You know, the old hokey giant blue suit, but he looks freaking cool in it. Really cool. So,
well, Emanuel, what do you think?
For the next Godzilla movie?
Yeah, where do you want to see it go from here?
Well, it would be easy for me to say Space Godzilla because Space Godzilla is just one of my absolute favorites. I love everything about that movie specifically and how it affects Godzilla. It also sets up the potential for there to be like a young Godzilla, so we could get like a continued patronage of like multiple Godzillas. Well, but if I were gonna go and like have my druthers and like be the director, I would say Godzilla teams up with Gamera against some kind of like something like Destroyer or something that would take more than Godzilla to beat, like Super Destroyer, right?
No. More Super Biollante.
Godzilla versus Bambi 2.0.
Gerard, we're going to go over to you now, buddy.
Godzilla versus Captain Planet.
Yes.
Okay. Only if it's Don Cheadle.
It has to be John Cheadle. He was the best Captain Planet ever.
Him and Godzilla would just get along. Godzilla would be like, you're going to just turn everybody into trees?
Fair enough. But no,
Okay.
Ted said it. I mean, I would like to see Biollante in the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've already got a lot of the scientists that have been going on, looking around Hollow Earth, going ahead and tracking Godzilla, dealing with all sorts of stuff. We had Apex who created Mechagodzilla. Let's continue with the scientific style right there. And, well, okay, here's Godzilla's blood mixed in with a few others, and let's create a plant life form. And, it goes wrong.
You know, if we're setting it up from the movies right now, and we're continuing Legendary on, it's got to be someone from space, right? They've been giving us and feeding us that alien stuff for the last couple movies.
Well, especially with the whole Monarch Area 51 reference they made.
Like,
so.
I feel like it's just,
Yep.
it's going to be something that comes from space that they've been tracking, and then whoever the champion is going to be, it takes it on.
You know, they actually, with what Apex is doing, or Apex did in there, I'm surprised they didn't go the Jet Jaguar route, because the whole logic of using King Ghidorah, or Kevin, to
It was Kevin. It was
basically kind of like power, be like not the dominant mind powering Mechagodzilla, but he was there to actually make it more animalistic with the tail monster stuff. But it's like, dude, you guys had Jet Jaguar. You guys could have. That would have been cool to see in this movie. But that would have changed up the entire movie right there. That would have actually almost made Godzilla he would have had to have been the bad guy in this. You know, something snapped in him and he just says, screw it, I'm blowing up humanity. So then they bring in Jet Jaguar and Kong to fight him. Actually, dear God. Why did they do this?
A dope sequel, right? So, like,
yeah.
humanity has to unite with Godzilla and Kong to fight against whatever the new evil is. And so, like, they're like, look at our Jet Jaguar. And they're like, what's that? And they're like, it's an acronym for awesome. And he plugs into our Mechagodzilla, so it's not evil anymore. And they're like, are you sure? And they're like,
We don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Let's find out.
You know, the thing is that what I'm seeing...
Trial and error.
What I'm seeing out there is that there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, I want to see Biollante, I want to see Space Godzilla. I mean, those are two of the major ones. And then now I'm seeing they want to do Godzilla versus Frank's favorite Godzilla, Shin Godzilla. I mean,
That
so...
would be cool.
You know, so this is what people are putting down. I was going through them. But, you know, I think for myself being a Godzilla fan, I would just love to see it continue. To me, I really don't care if it's past or new, but I think, like Frank has stated before, we've seen all these other characters. Let's go into some of them we haven't seen before. Let's do something new. You know,
let's bring some of the old beloved characters into this. Let's bring Baragon into this. Let's bring in I can't think of
the big mammoth there. What the hell's his name?
Yeah. Well, it's
what
they created.
Behemoth.
Behemoth.
They created these new monsters. Let's focus on some of these. You know, let's look at what they're doing here. You know.
Yeah.
I want to see Baphomet actually like.
I would just like to see the series continue,
the
but with
giant
something
shrimp.
new. Yeah.
What did you say? The giant shrimp?
Ibra,
Ibra.
give me
Yeah.
the giant shrimp.
That's a shrimp? I thought it was a crab. Or
It's like a prawn.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, look at
yes.
that.
Behemoth is awesome.
Yeah.
He's actually a sloth. He's related to sloths, not.
Nice.
Mammoth.
Sloths. You know how slow
Yeah,
they move.
Ibra was
so-
like, I thought he originally was a lobster, but then going back and watching it as an adult, I'm like, nope, totally just a shrimp.
It's a prawn. It's like this prawn thing that like.
Yeah.
Somebody went to the restaurant and was like, dude, we need a monster for Godzilla. And they're like, I got you. Dude pulls it out of the tank. It's all like, ah! And they're like, stab it in the head for me. Great, perfect.
Just a big red lobster. What the hell? Let's just make it
Actually,
easy.
it was Godzilla who was the replacement because Kong didn't technically show
He
up for
just
that. It was
stood there like-
supposed to be Kong versus the sea monster. That's the original one, and then
Yeah, and
Universal
Kong blew
was
it.
like,
He didn't
no.
show up.
Or not Universal, whoever owned Kong at the time. We're like, you're done with him.
All right, so we're gonna move on here quick. So some of the new movies for 2022 have already been listed for what it's coming out for next year. So I'm kind of eager to see what some of these are.
Natalie.
So looking at Morbius is coming out in 2022. Minions: The Rise. Now I love the Minions. I don't care what anybody says.
I like
I
them.
love those little yellow guys.
Well, I like the not Minions, but what was the original movie called?
Despicable Me.
Despicable Me. There you go. I
Yeah,
actually like
yeah.
those movies. They're really good.
Yeah.
Gru's awesome.
Black Adam, it looks like, is coming out. Thor, The Love of Thunder, and then the new Batman, of course, is supposed to be coming out. Part 2 to Black Panther. The Flash is finally getting its own movie, and then Captain Marvel 2. Those are some of the biggest ones that are going to be released in
The crazy
2022.
thing-
I'm excited
How
for
they're
Black Adam.
how are they? I know they're actually going to continue the Snyderverse with releasing those movies
They have
because
to.
those movies exist. The new Flash that's coming out, Black Adam, and what was the other one? I had a brain fart real fast.
Bla-
I think that was on
Black
that list.
Panther?
No, I'm talking about the DC.
He said
DCU.
Thor, so-
Okay, I'm sorry.
But no, the DCEU, the Snyderverse has to continue. It has to because those movies exist within that. Shazam, all that stuff. The ending scene in Shazam is Superman, Man of Steel. From the Snyderverse after he came back to life.
Right.
It
Well,
bothers me that they ended that.
there's more 2022 movies listed that we know that are coming back. I know that there's a retake of or a redevelopment of Scream coming out, a whole new Scream thing.
Yep.
So there's a whole bunch of new movies coming out. So I don't know
So
if
it
we're going
sounds
to
like
continue
we
to
need
do
to
this, huh?
Rank. It sounds like we need to rank this movie, right? Before
Right,
we
that's
move in
what
picking another movie.
Yeah, so that's where we're at, is ranking this movie and what we think. I mean, we didn't rank Godzilla. We just all said we loved it. So, but we'll leave that as it is and go on, move on. So, who wants to start? Frank. Well, Frank and Liz.
I would give this 11. No.
What? Come on.
I'm kidding.
S plus.
I'll give it a 7 out of it because they did hit a lot of things right, but like I said, well, actually, another thing I didn't like, Shang Tsung was young. He's supposed to be old in the first one, and then he gets his youth back later on. But and then the Kano thing, I'm sorry, I still can't get behind that eye. I was like, that is his finishing move in the third game, but he has a cybernetic eye, and that's how he's able to do this. You don't just gain this power to shoot lasers from one of your eyes. You're not Superman.
You had
yeah.
a problem with that, but not Jax's arms just turning into super robot arms out of
Right?
nowhere.
Yeah, that was.
I
I
kept
was gonna
staring
bring that
at
up.
them going,
Yeah.
why are they so
I don't know
weird?
why. I'm sorry, that bothered me more than that. I did slightly have a problem with it because I actually did I thought they were actually going in the right direction of, we're not going to exactly put Jax in this yet because he had
We're just
those.
gonna give him little baby arms.
He actually had the arms, but then he has to build them up himself or somehow get better arms, But it was like, all of a sudden, yeah, that is one of the
It was
things.
just
But
like, boom.
he's just all growing right there. I was all, what's going on with this? Is that
I
liquid
think-
metal?
The manifestation of Arcana being able to be anything, like it's Kung Lao's hat, right? Like,
Yeah.
you manifested a hat,
You got
You got hot powers, bro. Right? Like, how do you make an excuse for that? Right? All of it's arcana. Everything's fucking magical. Even the robot stuff. The robot stuff's magic too.
give him T-Rex arms.
Yeah. But I mean, either way, like I said, like, you know, so I'll give it a 7 out of that. That way, people go see it. It's good. It's really good. Support the franchise and get more of these movies out.
A lot more movies. I guess I will actually agree with that. Is about a 7, maybe a 7.5 because I might have liked it a little bit more than you did.
I'm just laughing at Natalie's comment. Good arms are so hard to find.
But no, I guess I would say 7.5 because I might have liked it just a little bit more than you did, to be honest. There were some aspects in it, like you had mentioned, that I didn't like, but yeah, 7.5. I'll go with 7.5.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Gerard?
Since number 10 is going to be like an S ranking, I'm going to have to say a solid 8.
Okay.
I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the movie. I mean, the biggest part, like I said, was the fight choreography. And the one that stood out alone was Sub-Zero. Not only did he do... Well, it's not just the fact that, you know, he had the ice powers and his fighting ability, but they utilized the ice in a way that I've not seen in other movies. He literally grabbed a hold of a person, frostbit his hand on him, and ripped it off, causing more damage.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was ingenious.
That was really cool. You're right.
That was cool. So, all right, so we got a 7, a 7.5, and an 8.
Are we going to get that S ranking?
Come on.
Emmanuel.
He's all...
Come on, Emmanuel.
All right. So, as a gamer, I can't just like rank an individual movie because it's got like some categories here. So, I think fight choreography, it's like 8.5, easy. I think for CG, it's a solid like 7.5. Like there was some real good CG, but there's also some like if you slow it down a little bit, especially, you're like, oh,
Goro
you're
did look
asking me to
cartoony
stretch
still.
a little bit.
Right.
Goro did look like he was pulled from the game, and it was just a game character opposed to looking real.
I compare him a lot to Hulk, right? So Hulk CG was really good, but blended in really well. Like Goro's skin, for the most part, was fine, and his face had some like detailing problems. But overall, because they almost always showed him in the dark, you never really get what you get from Hulk, which is all the vibrant detail and being able to see the great CGI. I think they kind of mask it and hide it behind that. So you know, a solid 7. I think for story, you know, if you're asking for a Mortal Kombat story, it's a 6.5. Like, it's not bad. Like, there wasn't a lot there, but they're setting a lot up, and they give you a lot to you visually, and they give a lot to you in dialogue. Altogether, I think I'd probably rank the movie like 6.5. I loved it. If I like, for me personally, like I could rank it in S tier, but we're a movie review podcast now. I'm not ranking things on how happy it makes me. I'm easy, right? We already established that.
You're easy like Sunday morning.
We're official. We're a big deal now. We did a whole movie review, and so now I got to take it seriously. I got to be thinking ahead, right?
Right.
So when we look back on this, I'm like, is it a Mortal Kombat 6? No, it's a Mortal Kombat 6.5.
I really thought you were meaning the game Mortal Kombat 6 for a second. I was like, well, I don't know. No, we're going to discuss this a little bit more.
Wait a second.
It is not. But that's all I'm saying is I think a 6.5 is probably where I land on the movie. Great movie, but had some flaws. Good setup. I think we'll see a lot better. Kind of like the Iron Man movies, right? Like, you watch Iron Man movies because they're okay. The villains are but then you're like, thanks for the MCU, Iron Man. You're the best.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, from somebody that didn't have as much knowledge as the rest of you did on the whole Mortal Kombat, I liked the movie, and I actually had to go back and try to learn some of this stuff, and then I was educated by Frank and Liz.
Inebriated Frank.
so as a person just walking off the street that doesn't know anything about Mortal Kombat, watching the movie, enjoying the action, enjoying the graphics and the detail and everything that they put in the movie. I mean, I would rank it a 7 myself. I thought it was a good movie. Even though I was confused on some things, I still think, coming from my point of view, it ranks as a 7. So I did enjoy it. I must have. I watched it 3 times. You know, and it wasn't just because of the review. I mean, I'll probably watch it again, but I've watched the Godzilla versus Kong 6-7 times. So
I think we're on 4 for myself right now.
You know, but it's just, you know, we've been sitting in a pandemic for so long that we're still crazy still. We're still trying to get out there and watch movies or do things and find entertainment and get back to a normal life. So watching movies is something that we've always done. Instead of just watching them on TV, we're able to go to the theaters. The drive-ins are opening up and stuff like that. So we're getting back to normalization. That's the new word here. And right? And so I'm loving the new movies. I'm liking the way everything's coming out. I really enjoyed it. I am going to say here, and this is a movie we haven't talked about because it's already passed, but Wonder Woman 1984, I didn't like. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
We need a whole review on that. You want to talk about? I can dump on that movie all day.
Why don't you
I didn't care for it. But
why don't you guys do that next?
The funny thing is, my mom contracted COVID the night I was actually giving her chicken soup. We just thought she was sick, and we kept telling her to go and get tested. That was the day she went and got tested for COVID.
That was the day she got the ranking back.
And
gosh,
I was making chicken soup and everything for her, and I'm watching Wonder Woman 1984. I was just want to get through this. I was like, okay, this is good. It's starting off good. This is good. And all of a sudden,
that's when we left to go get tested.
Well, yeah, that's when I was like, I don't feel good. I'm pretty sure we have COVID too, and then we went and got tested. And we never went back to the movie. COVID stopped us from watching the movie. COVID actually saved us from watching Wonder Woman 1984.
I can say that Gal Gadot is really hot, though.
Yeah.
So that whole movie could be summed up in an individual review. You just play that Johnny Cash song, "I hurt myself today."
Yeah.
To see if I could feel. That is that movie in a nutshell. Like, there's so many problems with it. It makes my brain hurt. I can't.
Yeah.
Nope, not okay. But we got new movies to pick from, so let's not go backwards. Why are we going backwards? Let's not do that.
If you guys want to watch it, I'll watch it. I'm not interested in it.
You're gonna contract COVID a second time from watching.
Exactly.
Here's my thought: if we're gonna do an hour, then we can just do like, I don't know, one movie, maybe 2. Do a half hour in each movie, maybe, and do 2 movies for an hour, and keep it down to an hour show. Unless we think we can get through them faster, and then we could do more instead of doing 2 hours. But it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do, but we can discuss that later on. And I myself right now, there's a few movies I want to see, and the one that sticks out for me is Nobody.
Oh, what one?
Yes, that does look good.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. I mean, we should pick 2 movies and try it the next time for 2 movies within an hour and see what happens and how we go.
That works.
What do you think? Does that work?
Coming up?
Yeah.
So, let me go back here. May release movies for 2021.
Actually, when it comes to actually seeing what movies are coming up and coming out,
yeah.
You a lot of times, and you brought it up, Ted, the pandemic. I got all my movies reviews and stuff like that, or seeing what movies are coming out by going and seeing movies, and because I haven't gone and seen a movie in a year and a half, because we had prior to seeing, I think Terminator, the last Terminator movie was the last movie we saw in theaters, and then that was when we got married, and then a couple months later, COVID and everything hit.
What about Wrath of Man?
Ooh, that sounds good.
That was the Jason Statham one, right?
Yeah. But I got my movie previews and all that stuff, knowing what's coming out from going to see movies and stuff like that. And right now, I only get a couple things here that pop up for on YouTube. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm gonna watch that movie. It's weird the feel that's been taken away from the movies that are coming, out, because they feel like they're straight to Netflix. Well, I mean, they are right now. They're straight to Netflix, straight to HBO Max, they're straight to all these other things that they don't feel like big movie premieres yet. It just doesn't feel that way at all.
Right.
Especially, what, next month do we get Black Widow movie?
Yeah.
We get Black Widow too.
Yeah.
I think that's next month. But you got to pay 30 extra bucks to see it on Disney Plus. You don't just get to go watch it. HBO Max, on the other hand, is like, we're releasing this stuff. You guys can watch them for the month.
Right. Well, the Paper Tiger comes out. Paper Tigers comes out, which is along the same lines. You're talking, karate. You're talking about revenge and all that good stuff. You also have the one that Liz just mentioned, which was The Wrath of Man.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, and but there's quite a few here. Some of them I really have no desire to watch, but that's just the way it is.
No.
But I myself, I would think that the next biggest one that's coming out within something like that is going to be either Black Widow, Wrath of Man, or the Paper Tigers. What else is coming out here? I have no desire to see it, but there's one called Mainstream.
That's my bad. I totally shouldn't have asked this question live. Like, I thought we had a pre-prepared list where it was going to be like, allow me to answer your question. Here is the 5 movies coming out that we have pre-selected.
I mean, you got
totally
Cruella.
just like dead aired it.
I mean,
my bad.
You can watch Cruella. I mean,
Did you guys see my dead ear sense
yeah.
tingle? I was like, talk now.
Well,
So,
there is that new zombie movie coming out that I had mentioned, which is The Army of the Dead, which I really do want to see.
Zack Snyder.
Yeah, so...
Okay, I'm down with that.
I'm thinking Jack Snyder's Army of the Dead. That's what I'm thinking.
That'll be good. That's on... What's it coming to? Is it Amazon Prime or Netflix?
It's May 21st. It's not till the 3rd week of May, but, I mean, that sets us up for the beginning of June. If we're going to do this once a month.
That'll work. That'll work perfect.
Yeah.
So, it's up to you guys, but that's the one I'm thinking.
We can
Done.
figure it out. Done.
Locked it up.
Done.
Yeah,
Okay.
Netflix. It's coming to Netflix.
Yep.
Cool. All right, guys. So it looks like the next one that we're going to be reviewing is Army of the Dead. It's just Jack Snyder film. We're going to be doing that one, I guess. So, and probably just doing... there's so many things that we could do anyways, but we'll discuss it at another time. I mean, this is a new show. We're trying to figure this out. 5 Sofa Guys movie review. That's what we're calling ourselves. We just have to remember it, Ted.
4 guys and a lady this week.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Mrs. Sean.
Mrs. Sean.
Or Miss Sean. Or
Miss Sean.
Shauna.
No. Oh,
Michonne?
if you were a wrestler, Miss Sean would be perfect.
I was like, Michonne?
Michonne?
Okay, no, seriously, I love her, so
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
So does anybody else have anything they want to say that they want to
I don't have her
mention quick or
beautiful
anything
skin
else?
color, but,
Wubba Love Dub? I'm sorry, I've been watching Rick and Morty left and right lately.
I just assumed this was about to break into the second half of this podcast, which is a wrestling podcast where we just start breaking into all the
do it.
juicy
Let's do
wrestling
it.
stuff
I could
we
do
can do a whole thing on
WWE.
Undertaker, no joke. One of my
could do
favorites.
Oh, God, I love
WWE
The Undertaker.
in a heartbeat.
We can do the. We can
Well, that being
actually.
the case,
I've met Hulk Hogan.
We can talk about the Montreal Screwjob and everything. Bret Hart was my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yes, you're right, Robert. That is Dave Bautista is in that movie. Yes.
That's
Yep.
right.
Well, Natalie says, great show. Thank you, Natalie.
Thanks, Nat.
Thanks, Natalie.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, we just gotta get our shit together, folks. We'll get it.
Oh, it'll get there.
Yeah. But we're
Just not live on the air, like right now. Like we should just totally
I gotta cook
stop.
soon.
Nice.
backstage and say, okay, we're done, guys.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll get it together. But Robert says, let's get wrestlers in the movies. You're right. That's happening. You're
No
seeing more
holds
WWE movies. You're seeing more of them out
Hulk
there.
Hogan
so.
versus Zeus. We need to watch this.
Let's do this.
Oh yeah, no holds barred.
Oh,
Yep.
look at that. With the world's
Speaking of
strongest
anybody
man.
else watching The Rock on Hulu, The Young Rock.
Yeah, yes, I am watching it.
Is it good?
It's good,
I like it.
yeah.
I like
it's
it.
very good.
I was like, this is just like the Chris Rock show. I was like,
It's way better. No,
Yeah, it is
nothing
way-
again. I don't want to knock on the.
oh,
Chris
I'm
Rock.
not. I'm not.
It was
Yeah.
fine for what it was, but like this show is well written. It's got a lot of historical fun
Yeah.
factism with a lot of like play on the future of like what It's goofy. It's great. Highly recommend, especially if you like wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it? It took place. It's taking place in like what 2030 or something like that. 20.
Yeah, something like that. Like so,
Yeah, because he's running
essentially-
for president. He's running for
Yeah.
president.
Oh.
So
He's running for
doing-
president, and so they're constantly recounting the past, but it takes place at different times in his life. So there are multiple actors that play him: Young Rock, like Medium
Yeah.
Rock, Boulder Rock, and like Blue Eyes White Dragon Rock is when he's like running for president. The fully evolved Rock, the Rock that you had to trade to evolve.
Oh my God, you're the best, Emmanuel. You're the best.
Oh,
Awesome.
you're the best, Ted. Thank you.
Oh, but yeah, I think that's good for me. If you guys are all good to go. Oh,
That's
you
good.
know what? I did want to mention. Have any of you guys watched the what is it? The Titans with
Teen Titans?
Robin and all that stuff? Yeah, Teen
Yes.
Titans. Have you guys seen
Yes.
that series?
The old cartoon show
The
from
cartoon?
No. The new.
No,
The
the
new one.
new
I
one.
haven't seen the new one yet.
Oh, I've seen the cartoon.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cartoon's
so Gerard,
fantastic. The show is.
Teen Titans
alright.
Go was
Oh.
terrible.
Really?
Titans
Okay.
Go is awful.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
Uh,
oh,
Teen
no, I
Titans Go is still better than the new live action remake.
Is
haven't
it?
seen it yet. I haven't seen the new live action remake
No.
yet.
I like.
between.
Don't get me wrong. It's not. It's fine for what it is, but there are so many just glaring problems with it. It's hard as a DC fan to like not look. Don't get.
It's just
What's
called
that other?
Titans.
Doom Patrol, right? So Doom Patrol is fantastic. It's kind of like Doom Patrol, but not as good or as clever or as well written. My
Doom
opinion.
Patrol's in Titans.
Yeah, and they are. They do make cameos. And it's
Yeah.
weird. So, like, I watched all of Doom Patrol before I started Titans, and I was like, whoa. Like, after seeing them completely mature as actors and individuals, you're like, I forgot how bad they were at the beginning.
hey, what about this new Suicide Squad coming out?
Oh,
I'm
I
pretty
can't
stoked
wait.
for that.
I'm
It's
stoked for
got
that. I like
the-
the original one.
The 12th Doctor is, what's his name? Mindbender or whatever? Or Brain. God, it is escaping me.
Right?
I just think the shark dude is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh, yeah.
going to be dope, too.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm
Did
excited.
not like
There's a
that they
lot.
used Baby Shark to do that.
Actually, that's a movie we should totally review after it drops.
Baby Shark?
Oh, Baby Shark? Yeah, let's do it.
No. No. No.
When does it come out? It comes out in July, doesn't it, or something like that? Or August.
Soon.
Yeah, let me-
Is it June?
Soon.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So the new Suicide Squad will definitely do. So, yeah, that's on my list. So we'll do it. We'll have fun with
All
it.
right.
All right, guys.
Our audience Suicide
Baby Shark
Squad's
starring-
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Meg 2.
Baby Shark starring in Meg 2. Yeah, sorry, Bliz. I was reading the same time you were.
I just started laughing at it.
No Brendan Fraser. That guy, I don't even know what happened to him. He's just gone. So.
No, he's in Doom Patrol.
He's in Doom
the
Patrol.
robot.
And
Oh, is
he's,
he?
Yeah.
he's way better, by the way. He made a comeback. He's doing great.
I love
Brendan
Brendan
Fraser is
Fraser.
good right now.
I
He's so
do.
cool.
Doom
and he's kind of
Patrol.
like he's coming to his own again.
I'm gonna have to
Yep.
look that up. Cool. I really think that maybe it just we're talking here real quick, but I think what we should do for ourselves is kind of mention movies that maybe we saw that at the end of our show, mention movies that we liked and maybe pass them on and have people say, hey, I checked out what you mentioned and yeah, it was cool. I don't know. That's just a thought. All
Yeah.
right, well, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for Gerard and Emmanuel and Frank and Liz and you guys joining us here on WLFE's new show called Five Sofa Guys Movie Review, and I will memorize it so I don't have to keep reading it off the paper eventually. It's just a tongue twister for me, but yeah, I think it's great, and we'll keep doing this, and we'll see you guys in a month, right?
See you later.
Sounds good. We'll see you.
Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Crazy,
Shake and
crazy.
bake.
All right, guys.
See you guys later.
We'll see you guys soon. All right. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area, 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.